Hello figure enthusiasts and welcome to Scaled Affairs, where I will take a closer look on scale figures, price figures and Nendoroids alike. Today's figure is the White Rabbit from Good Smile's Nendoroid Dolls lineup. The tiny ball joint doll comes to you in a window box that has the same dimensions as a standard Nendoroid box, therefore it will fit perfectly into your existing stash of Nendo boxes. But due to the bigger front window and the more playful design, this box has an upscale feel to it. Same box size but bigger figure must mean that a Nendo doll is lacking in additional accessories, and a quick glance inside the plastic blister confirms this. Beyond the missing accessories, you might also notice that a Nendo doll comes with only one faceplate. When you take the White Rabbit out of his box and place him on his shiny plate, you can already see that he stands a bit taller than your average Nendo. Upright without the ears, he is almost 13 centimeters tall. This increase in height exclusively results from a more detailed and more jointed body. The head of the Nendo doll system has the exact same size and is even compatible with all the existing characters from the main series. On the right side, I've summarized some of this figure's key details. The absence of additional faceplates and bonus equipment to play with, combined with the still young roster, the main appeal of these dolls is dress up and dress up alone. This becomes even clearer when you see that Good Smile is also selling you the dresses as well as blank bodies separately. But if you aren't a huge fan of the dress up part or a beginner who wants to tip their toes into the world of ball jointed dolls, you might enjoy the fact that except for the shoes, the White Rabbit is only fully dressed right out of the box. According to the manufacturer, the clothes made out of real fabric should be intrinsically detailed, and to be fair, given the size of those dolls, they are doing the best they can tailoring those outfits. This one, for example, has a wine red coat with tiny buttons on it that is a separate piece of garment and can be removed if you want. Underneath the coat he wears a white shirt and a vest in a checkered pattern, but don't get fooled by the illusion, the vest and the shirt is one piece of top clothing. His grey shorts are just long enough to hide his knee joints. In general, if you are a person like me who likes posable dolls but dislikes to see their joints, this little fella is perfect for you because in his standard configuration you won't see them at all. The major downside of such small outfits is that somewhere, somehow a tailor has to hide all the seams and threads. And let me tell you, the inside of those clothes, especially the coat, isn't pretty to look at. But at this scale and price point you also can't really expect to have inner pockets or inner lining. Also, keep in mind that due to the tight packing, the clothes might be a bit pressed and need to be fluffed, maybe a job for a steam iron. The only two parts you have to attach right out of the box are his shoes and his rabbit ears. The ears are fairly standard, but the shoes are by design the only piece of clothing that is not made out of natural materials, and it shows. Since they have to be a bit squishy and soft, they also aren't made out of your typical Nendo PVC, but rather have a very toy-like look to them. On the bottom of each shoe you have a small magnet that can hold the figure in place on the newly designed Nendo base plate that has no holes in it but rather a squared metal plate that reflects almost like a mirror foil. The cool thing about this magnet base system is that you can place the figure on it and stabilize it without using the typical Nendo crane, especially if you don't do crazy unbalanced poses. The crane is still included, in fact there are two of them, but seeing how well the system works, I'm curious why Good Smile never implemented this into the main line as well. Guess cost cutting is the answer, as with most of the time when such questions are asked. And since I wasn't quite sure, I checked White Rabbit's bare feet, and yes, he has even smaller magnets on his soles, meaning you can also mount him magnetically without shoes or socks. And while checking I noticed that the black socks already rubbed off quite a bit onto his feet, a common danger that many fans of dolls with real clothes will tell you about. As for the faceplate, most of the Nendo dolls have a very basic expression, I guess in order to please as much people as possible. Still, I wish they would include at least the second alternative face, but if you already have a large collection of normal Nendoroids, you can of course always take those faces and dress up your favorite character in fancy fabric clothes. Besides that, you can also swap out hands and interchange them with the ones from the main series, but be careful, they don't always match in scale. The biggest selling point for those dolls, beside the real clothes and the compatibility with the main series, might be the fact that you can pose your Nendo doll far more excessive compared to the standard one. The more detailed exoskeleton allows you to do poses only Figmas were former capable of, but keep in mind that once you add the clothing, especially several layers like White Rabbit's coat, the movability will suffer quite a bit as well. I do like that those dolls stand on their own due to the magnetic support and that they can also sit on a shelf if you manage to balance them out, since the figure is even more top heavy than a regular Nendo. In conclusion, I'm definitely not the intended target demographic for this Nendoroid spin-off series, but as expected from a quality manufacturer like Good Smile Company, if you like ball jointed dolls or want to get started with this hobby, you get your money's worth, even if those dolls are priced a bit more expensive than a regular Nendo. Next time I will go back to the main line of little clay chunks when I take a closer look on Nendoroid number 1112, Todoroki Shoto from My Hero Academia. Until then, take care and keep collecting those gorgeous figures.